Alright, welcome to FC25, where today I will be doing something a little bit different on this game. I will be doing a career mode with the worst European team in this game. Now the team I will be using today is from the Republic of Ireland, and otherwise known as Waterford. They have half a star on this game, and they don't have much to work with, but that doesn't matter today, because the challenge I am doing is seeing how long it will take to win a treble with this team. However, there is a twist. Every season, I will be adding an icon to the team to see how many icons it will take to get this team to a treble. So I have a bunch of icons in the game. The way I will be bringing them into Waterford is probably just through financial takeover. It's really simple. If for whatever reason that doesn't work, I will just restart the sim every time to the first season, injecting the players using the transfer feature. But let's get started with this. I mean, I'm very excited. The first season will be very boring because we will have no one new, and it will more than likely just be a disappointing season for us. So let's head on into it. Now here is what the squad is looking like in our first season. Pretty woeful. We've even got a loanee who is only 60 overall. Everyone's contract is almost out. They're all expiring in 1 year. We could possibly be losing the entire starting lineup here. But we can see we've got one player over 60 overall, although this one is... Oh, here we go. We have two players over 60 overall and 3 players over 60 overall, and that's that. We have about 5 players, a handful of players who are at 60 overall or higher. Everyone else is under that. Another side note, I will not be using the youth academy because there's no point. I will just be getting the best players in history anyways. So let's go on to the end of this season, see how it's gone. Likely not well, but it doesn't matter because we are getting some help very, very soon. All right, the end of the season has come, and unsurprisingly, we kind of stunk. 9th place in the Irish League, which is nearly last. Although we did okay, we were close to 8th. That doesn't really matter though. So let's have a quick look at what the team looks like at the end of the season. Everyone is on terrible form, but we can see a couple of growing players here. This is our loanee, so that doesn't count. McCourt is up to a 60 overall, 57, 56, +1, +2. +1, +1, +1. We got a 62 overall right now. 23 years old. He's not that bad, is he? 21-year-old, left mid, 61 overall, +3. That looks pretty nice. +12 from Padraig Amand. This guy's kind of crazy. He's worth 33 million somehow. I genuinely do not know how that's happened. 1,000% plus. I mean, yeah, listen, we're going to re-sign him just because, but I'll give him like a bunch of money. There you go. 1 year. Everyone else doesn't really matter. I'll re-sign some of these guys simply because we need the depth, sort of. But besides some of them, it doesn't really matter. All right, with that, let's end off the season. I should hire some coaches, to be fair. I forgot to do that. I will do that next season, though. That's where everything improves. So let's end off the season. We made it to the semi-finals of the FAI Cup, though. That's not bad, to be honest. Heading into the second season of this challenge, we're going to immediately go for an icon. In the second season, we are immediately going to go for an icon. Now, I haven't really looked at the squad too much, but it looks like we have a decent striker. And the formation we're playing, I'm not going to change it, to be fair. It's going to stay the same. But it looks like we might need a nice center midfielder to really ping. What is this formation, by the way? What? Who thought of this? Anyways, we kind of need ourselves a center midfielder. A good one at that. Now, obviously, there's many choices in the icon pool. There's Zinedine Zidane. There's Xavi, there's Xavi Alonso, but I think our best bet is probably Andres Iniesta. So we can just plop Iniesta right into the team and see just how much better we do this season with a world-class player like himself, especially the type of player he is on the team. So before I move on, let's sign all the midfield coaches we can. Let's get the best in the business. 4 stars, yeah, I guess good enough, right? All right, we've hired some coaches, none for defense, unfortunately, so maybe we sign a defensive icon next season. But yeah, on to the season. Let's see how Iniesta helps us this year. All right, 3 losses back-to-back at the end of the season, but we have clearly done a lot better. 3rd place in the league, and one man has completely changed our team. That's kind of insane. Let's have a look at his stats really quickly. I saw a lot of man of the matches for Andres Iniesta. Here he is, one of the world's best, 94 overall. He has grown 1 overall. 40 appearances, 23 goals, 8 assists for Andres Iniesta so far. But he has had a bit of a supporting cast with Padraig Amand, who is actually an icon himself. He is an Irish icon. Not quite in FIFA, you know, but however, he is an Irish icon, so I guess we did have an icon to start off with. He just wasn't quite as good as someone like Andres Iniesta. Once again, end of the year, quick re-signings for anyone that can get it. I don't mind re-signing these players. We do kind of need them to stay a real club. So, yeah. All right, with that out of the way, let's head on over to the actual end of the season so we can just go on to the next season and sign our next icon. So in the cup, we reached the quarterfinals. We did actually win our preseason tournament, so that was pretty cool. That was obviously a sign of good things to come. And I mean, I wasn't wrong. We jumped 6 places in the league. So that's very great to see. We might win the league next season with the right player. So who will that player be? Who will that icon be? I say, who else but none other than possibly the greatest keeper of all time, Gigi Buffon, who is 24 years old, has 99 diving, 93 handling, and is quite literally the best thing I've ever seen in a keeper. However, Buffon is not the only keeper around. There's also someone like Iker Casillas. He has a release clause of 600 million, which is a bit high, to be honest. But we can obviously subvert this with the loan. Just loan him out for 2 years. He'll be there, and then I can just buy him whenever I feel like it. Iker Casillas has landed in the squad, 95 overall, actually a higher overall than Buffon, and he looks amazing. We just have to make sure to buy him before that loan expires, which should be very doable. Now, the reason I didn't go for someone like Messi is because Messi is good. He is quite literally the best player in history, but a keeper helps more in the sim more than anything. All right, with our latest icon signed and brought into the team, let's see how we do this season. I expect us to win the league and possibly, well, if we win the league, we make it to the Champions League, right? So that is honestly what I expect from us. However, if we don't do much better, I might have to bring in 2 icons a season to really bump it up. All right, we've reached the end of Season 3, and it looks like we have a cup final to play in against Sligo Rovers. We're also in Europe, which I totally forgot was probably a thing. We beat Shamrock Rovers on aggregate 4-3 in the semifinals. But yeah, I totally forgot we would be in Europe. I don't know how well we're doing. I think we're doing quite well. It's a bit weird with the Irish League. We're 9th, which isn't bad. We're going to make it through probably, but it is a bit weird because of the fact that it starts at like a strange point of the season. Towards the end of the season is when Europe is like starting. So it's a bit strange to play through that. Anyways, quick look at the squad hub. Iker Casillas has been absolutely instrumental for us. And we can have a look. Obviously he has no goals, but that's to be expected. Andres Iniesta has 28 goals with 8 assists. Amazing from him. Amand, 19 goals and 14. Parsons has done all right for himself as well. So obviously Casillas was an instrumental addition to the team, and I would love to keep him. However, the money issue is a bit of a problem. But either way, it could be possible next season with the money we are given. So let's not lose all hope. Anyways, with this season done, or actually I've totally forgotten about this, we do have to play through this really quickly. But the season is essentially over. Sligo Rovers final could be our first proper trophy for the club, but I'm not entirely sure. I think we might have won the league, but we do win the trophy either way. Could be a little bit of a domestic double for us, and that would be very, very nice. It in fact is, because we have won the league 6 points clear. So we are going to the Champions League, I think, next season. Plus, we might even win the UECL, which is all fine and dandy. We can see all these unread messages. I don't really care. There's Iker Casillas next to the trophy. Very beautiful. Oh, wait, we've got more games here. Oh, the season wasn't over. Whoops, that's actually my bad. The stamina on this is terrible. We've completely run out of stamina, but it doesn't matter. We have Iniesta and Amand holding it down for us. That's that, I believe. We've won the league. We've won a calm little domestic double, which is not quite what we're looking for, so just going to skip through that. Don't really care too much about it. And we have some UECL games waiting for us as well. So with that in mind, let's move on to the end of the season and see how it goes. So that is the end of the season. We've made it through everything. And in the Conference League, we are currently 4th, meaning we are through to the knockout stages. Let's keep going into our 4th season, adding, I would say, 1 more icon, because we have done quite well with just 3 in the team so far. Well, I have purchased Casillas for £400,000. I just remembered something. I totally just can change his position and then change it back so I can buy them for a really cheap price and not have to worry about it. So with the Casillas issue resolved, who will we be signing next? Will it be a defender? Or will I sign an attacker finally and get this offense really going? Great question. I'm thinking Messi is definitely a possibility. Lionel Messi, only 21 years old, 98 overall, with a release clause of 1.4 million. I don't think I can get him, although he does have an ACL injury. Here he is, Lionel Messi, still using the old picture, obviously, or I guess the current picture, because it did not replace that for whatever reason. 98 overall. He slots perfectly into the team, although he does currently have an injury. That's not really a concern because he's Lionel Messi and he will come back very, very soon. Our team is looking kind of mediocre, but then you look at certain spots on the team and then you see Andres Iniesta, and you see Iker Casillas, and you see Lionel Messi. I've signed 3 La Liga players, 3 La Liga legends. Maybe I should sign from somewhere else next time. With the team now set in stone and having quite possibly the greatest player of all time in our team, let's go ahead and sim through this 4th season, see if we can win the UECL, and I think we've already qualified for the Champions League, so see how we do in that later on in the season as well. The league is essentially a guarantee, and everything else we will see. That rhymed. Anyways, let's go to the end of the season and see if we've won the treble. Actually, we can't win it this season, but still, let's go. All right, welcome to the end of the 4th season. We clearly dropped out of the Champions League, which honestly, now that I think about it, was very expected. The reason being is, while we do have some great players, you know, Lionel Messi, Iker Casillas, Andres Iniesta, we also still have 50 overall players filling up our squad. With that in mind, I think it's time for us to get some more players in more often. So, with that in mind, next season we will be signing 2 icons rather than 1, and I have 2 players in mind. Also, I've accidentally simmed through the final of the cup, or the League Cup for the Irish League. We won that 3-0. I mean, the league was quite literally a joke to us, but the Europa League, anything Europe related, we're just not doing too hot in, obviously. You have all these well-rounded teams that are just gonna beat us every single time, so it's really not that surprising. We've won everything though. Europa League, we've come dead last. So with the new season coming, you may be wondering, who will you sign? I mean, it's pretty obvious who I should sign. I should sign a center back, and who better than Paolo Maldini? 98 rated. Now then, who will the second player be? I'm thinking we should go for another midfielder. Now, there are a lot of great midfielders out there, but however, let's have a look at one that I was actually looking at earlier before I signed Iniesta. It's Mateus, who is 98 overall right now. Not quite as good as Pirlo, but he will suffice. All right, with that, Mateus and Maldini are now in the squad. We have 5 icons currently in the squad, plus Amand, who is an Irish hero, if you will. So hopefully this is the season for us in Europe. I'm thinking next maybe some fullbacks, or a fullback and another center back, because the Stenzel guy doesn't look too bad either, even though he is 31 years of age. So with that, let's sim through the season, hope for a better season in Europe, because the league itself is always going to be won by us. There's no way we lose it, let's be real. Alright, welcome to the end of the 5th season. It's playing us this cutscene because I did not watch it because the sim was going on the entire time, but we are technically still in the Champions League, playing within it. The league, clearly we have won. We're 27th in the Champions League, by the way. We are cooked. We are not making it out of the group stages, but that is okay. Maybe we will, because next season we will be adding 2 more icons, and that will probably just strengthen our defense, which is kind of struggling a bit recently. Anyways, outside of the Champions League, which obviously has been quite tough for us. Okay, so we went invincible. We have not been beaten once in the league. We've gotten 2 draws, 117 goals for us, and in the cup, we have won it quite easily as well. So that is nice. Same thing with the preseason cup. We won that. So let's have a look at what our team has done throughout the season. So obviously Iker Casillas, 20 clean sheets. Pretty good for only having 1 real defender in front of him. Stenzel has kept 19 clean sheets, so he's been there for quite a bit. 2 goals, 3 assists. Andres Iniesta, 36 goals, 19 assists. What a season from him. Mateus has been defending more so. 18 goals, 10 assists. Still very, very good. Lionel Messi, 45 goals, 7 assists, and 52 appearances. He's appeared in every single game, unlike Maldini, who has missed 1 game. Still 11 goals. It says plus 80 because of the fact that I had to switch him back to a center back, because I had to purchase him as a goalkeeper. Now, if we scroll all the way down here, we will find Amand, who is 90 overall now, but is unfortunately injured, and is out for, honestly, I don't know, 3 weeks. That is probably why we've done a bit worse in the Champions League than we'd hope. But normally I would sign the icons before the season starts, or after the season has ended, but I have decided that I do want to look at the center backs right now. So the first player I have in mind is Beckenbauer. He's definitely a good option. And the second player I'm thinking about signing is a bit of a different one. Not really. It's Philipp Lahm, who is possibly the greatest right back of all time, in my opinion. So these two will be, they're also both Bayern players, but they will be the two signings we will make for the next season. So be excited for that. I think next season might be our season. So with that in mind, let's head on over to the next season and see what we can do there, because this season is kind of over. Although we do have a couple of Champions League games here. Oh, Messi's actually won the man of the match. A draw, not bad for where we are right now. Our next game is against Borussia Dortmund, but that is in the next season during the month of January. So although it is kind of doomed in the Champions League, we can still hope for the next season. Another decent season for us. Still, Europe is yet to come. Philipp Lahm and Beckenbauer have arrived into our team. Unfortunately, Beckenbauer does not really have a picture, which is a bit strange, a bit like Iniesta, but I guess that's just how it is for now. But here they are, and ready to play for this team. We've almost got a full back line here. And honestly, I think next season we sign a left back and a left winger. Technically, I'm not limited to only signing icons. I could sign people with the money I already have, but I don't really see a point in that. It's not as fun as just signing a bunch of icons and hoping for the best. So with the team solidified, let's go on to the end of this season. Hope for, once again, a good performance in Europe and see where it all goes from there. Alright, welcome to the end of Season 5, I believe. I did spot something during the end of the season here, and I believe Lionel Messi is actually injured as of right now. However, our team has held it down pretty well. Philipp Lahm, 49 appearances, 99 overall now. Beckenbauer, 8 appearances, 18 clean sheets. That means Casillas must have been injured at some point because he hasn't played every game, strangely enough. Arnold has played, though, 23 goals. Mateus has scored 35. Iniesta with 23. And all the way down here, we will find Lionel Messi with 22 goals. Still, not bad. We still have yet to play the final of this. I mean, it's basically guaranteed for us to win it. But what I'm more concerned about is the Champions League. Here we look, we are 30th, 5 games played with 4 points. Pretty woeful, but, you know, it is what it is. Lionel Messi did get injured, so let's have a look at the Champions League. That's not the Champions League, I meant the regular league. Once again, 34 wins, 2 draws. So it's alright, but the injury to Messi has definitely held us back quite a bit. He is possibly the best player on our team, so that lets you know we need a bit of depth. With that in mind, I will be adding 3 icons next season, and I already have an idea for who those 3 icons will be. Now, the first icon is a mentor to Lionel Messi. Although I could get Cristiano Ronaldo, I am opting for Ronaldinho from AC Milan. The second player will be a left back, but who else would I sign at a left back position but Roberto Carlos, 23 years old, on Real Madrid as of right now, 99 overall. Last but not least, we need another center back. Now this is pretty easy to pick from center backs. It's clear who I'm going to pick, Sergio Ramos. Actually, he plays predominantly right back, which is really strange. I don't know why it's done that. Also, he has no picture, which is really, really strange. Like, he should just use his old one, shouldn't he? Either way, we will be signing him. I will just turn him into a center back. There's no problem there. So these will be the 3 players we are signing this season: Ronaldinho, Roberto Carlos, and Sergio Ramos. Yeah, you can see he has his modern face scan as well. That's really, really strange, but whatever. It doesn't really matter that much. So with that all in mind, I'll head on to the next season. Or actually, you know what? I might as well just sim this final right here. Everything else doesn't really matter, but the final. Let's have a look. Will we win it? It's a big surprise. It's a big question. Will we win the final? And of course, we smash them 4-0. So yeah, let's head on to the next season and sort everything out. We will have a full starting 11 of icons starting next season. So maybe next year is finally the year we win the treble with the worst rated European team in all of FC25. Alright, unfortunately, the Ronaldinho deal fell through. I couldn't make it happen, so I had to bring in a different Ronaldo. Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi are now on the same team, with Ronaldo being 99 overall. Transfers happen, so this is what it's looking like right now. 3 right-footed defenders. doesn't seem all that smart, but it's okay. Our team is stacked now, and we should be ready for the Champions League. I think it's time I break my own rules and I add some free agents to this pool because, yeah, their subs are not very good. Alright, we have gotten some free agents to fill up the club with some better backups. You know, nothing crazy. Really nothing all too helpful in the end anyways, but it's better than having 50 overalls to have 60 overalls. So, yeah, we should be chilling now when it comes to this front. Anyways, this is the finalized lineup. Looking at the tactics, I should honestly mess with this a bit. Give him wing back and such. You know, just make sure they play the positions they like to play. So, yeah. Defender, no. Ball playing defender. Defender, no. Stopper. Sweeper keeper, yes. You know, advance forward, he doesn't play that. Well, that's his best position. Let's keep him at that. Winger, no. Wide playmaker. Inside forward, I'm not sure why that... Oh, he just has no pluses. That's so strange. He should. But, okay. So Ronaldo should be scoring a lot of goals alongside with Amand. And he should be getting into the attack. So, box to box, playmaker. Yeah, we like this. So with that, let's go to the end of the 6th season and see how it all goes down. Alright, well, welcome to the end of the season, although the final hasn't been played yet, so let's quickly do that. So far has been pretty good. Nothing wrong, another 4-0 victory for us in that final. Champions League is a bit better this season around 15th, which is pretty close to Real Madrid and Chelsea, who are pretty good teams if you ask me. Now, of course we won the league, but I always like to check if we went fully invincible without drawing or losing a single game in the league. Not this time. We drew 5 games, which is a lot worse than usual, but that's okay. Having a look at the squad hub, let's look at the stats for our team this season. Iker Casillas, 50 appearances. Nice. Cristiano Ronaldo, 35 goals, 22 assists. Player of the season, let's be real. Beckenbauer holding it down. Maldini, same thing. Roberto Carlos, you kind of expect more goals from him. Iniesta, 15 goals, 13 assists. Mateus, 24 goals, 13 assists. Amand, 32 goals, 4 assists, currently injured though. Sergio Ramos, 6 goals, 9 assists. Not as many games as you'd like. Same thing with Philipp Lahm, not sure if they got injured. Same thing with Messi, 13 goals, really not amazing from him this season. So as I said earlier, I will be signing 3 icons this season to make sure we do as well as possible. Quickly re-signing all of our crucial players here. Ooh, £700,000 a week. That is kind of a high price, but I guess it does make a bit of sense. So I do have 3 players in mind to sign some super subs. Some of these not really icons, but they are greats of the game. Firstly, a little bit of glaze from me, but I do want to sign Heung-min Son, who is 99 overall, and I don't think it's a bad signing. However, I have seen that Heung-min Son's contract is not really where we want it to be, so that probably will fall through. In that case, we can go with the other Spurs legend, Harry Kane, who also happens to be 99 overall and is also on Spurs. Second player I would like to sign is another right back, just for a bit of depth. Now, the right back I am looking to sign this season is Cafu, who is a natural right back. He's also 99 overall, so that's very nice. Last but not least, I want to sign one more center back, just for a bit of depth there, and that's going to be Franco Baresi, who is 98 overall and looks quite good. So with that in mind, let's go to the next season, make these signings, and see how we do this season. Alright, we have officially brought in Kane, Baresi, and Cafu into the team. They are ready to start for us, or I guess play backup for us. So hopefully these 3 additions will help strengthen the squad and give us a bit more depth. If we don't win the treble this season, in my next 3 signings, I might have to go for 2 midfielders, and then maybe another winger or something. I don't know. Just more depth will help overall. So let's go on to the end of the season. Hope for all the best, and I will see you there. All right, welcome to the end of season 6. No, 7. I'm not even sure at this point. However, we are doing quite decent in the Champions League. 6th place with 12 points. Not bad. We can have a look at the league, although it is a bit of a waste of time. 33 wins, 3 draws. Easily winning that league. And then we look at the final. We won it 3-2, a bit dicey this time around. I did have to stop the sim at some point because I spotted that we had some pretty bad injuries. Harry Kane was out for 3 months with some sort of like ACL or something. And Philipp Lahm was out for a bit too. But we came back just as strong. Roberto Carlos is currently out though. I don't know for how long, but that is a shame. I have decided to essentially make next season the last season. I will be signing as many icons and just generally good players for the team for this final season. It will be 2032 in that final season. Let's have a look at these stats, see how our players have done. Sergio Ramos has had the most appearances. Lionel Messi, also there, 30 goals, 21 assists. What a season. Then we have Andres Iniesta, 20 goals, 12 assists. And then we have Mateus, 26 goals, 6 assists. Roberto Carlos, -1, but I think that's because of the injury. 9 goals, 7 assists. Beckenbauer, 2 goals, 7 assists. Maldini, 2 goals, 3 assists. Cafu, 10 goals. Amand has had 22 goals on the season. Casillas has only played 37 games, meaning he must have been injured. I will definitely sign a backup for next season. Cristiano Ronaldo has played even less games, 34, scoring 28 goals. Baresi is technically a backup, so I'm not surprised. Philip Lahm has had injury problems as well. Harry Kane has only played 12 games, unfortunately, scoring 3 goals. That is very unfortunate because of the injuries. But yeah, so next season you will see me with quite literally as many players as I can sign within this sim. I will just be signing a bunch of 99s. I will sign a backup keeper. I'll sign everything. Everything that is needed for depth, for, you know, we're just going to see. Will a team full of icons and 99 overall players win the treble? So let's go on to the next season and hopefully cap this off with a treble this time around. Alright, we have called in some backup for this final season in this challenge. We're going all out to see if we can win the treble. We have Park Ji-sung, Ronaldinho, who I totally forgot to turn him back into his left winger, so he was just a free agent at like 23 overall. No one would pick him up. Adam Wharton, we've got a couple of newer players in here as well, not just the youngins, or not just the old players, not just... Also have a couple of failed wonder kids. Giovanni Dos Santos from Barcelona. Laurent Blanc. We've got Richarlison. Christian Romero, just for a bit of glaze. We're going to plop him in there because, you know, glazing. Frank Lampard. We've got Thierry Henry. We've got everyone. Well, not everyone, but you get the point. We are going to play Amand, though, although I'm not sure if the game will play him. But this is basically it. We've got a couple of 57s still here, but we have basically 2 different starting 11s that are at 99 overall. The only thing we are missing is an extra goalkeeper, but I am working on it. Lev Yashin will be coming to this club. Alright, so maybe Lev Yashin is not coming to the club. For some reason, the game has said that I have no money. Don't know how that's happened, but it has happened. So now we have to deal with it. Messi is also injured once again. And I did forget about a couple of players that I just did not revert to their max potential. So we have Heung-min Son, 99 overall, Frank Lampard, and Dele Alli. Yeah, so I guess we're just rolling with this, hoping that Casillas does not get injured. Because if he does, we're kind of screwed. But other than that, we're ready to roll. We have $0. I don't know how it's happened. To be fair, we did take out a lot of loans, but like, I don't even think their wages are that bad, aside from Frank Lampard. Like, we are paying them quite a bit, but we've been able to manage this for many, many years, so I don't really know what's going on here. Like, for example, like all of these guys, I paid them like pennies for their talents. I pay Laurent Blanc £8,000 a week. I pay Ronaldinho £10,000 a week. I don't know what's happening. But as it should be, Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi are joint highest for value, and then followed by Giovanni Dos Santos, Christian Romero, and so on and so forth. I believe it is time to sim through the UCL. We are doing quite decently, so hopefully we make it through to the knockout stages of the UCL. So we have made it through to the knockout stages. We have beat Liverpool in the first leg. So let's go ahead and quick sim through to the second leg. Hopefully we win that too. On to the second leg we go against Liverpool, this time at home it seems. And Sergio Ramos is currently on a suspension, which is not great, but of course, we have plenty of backup here. We have Laurent Blanc, who is 99 overall, to back him up in that position. Lionel Messi is still out, but that's okay. We've got Christian Pulisic backing him up. Heung-min Son will start at striker for this game. I'm personally just going to send in an all 99 overall team to hopefully secure this for us. However, looking at the subs, aka Dele Alli and Frank Lampard, along with Xabi Alonso, Mateus just has better stats than all of them somehow. And I don't know how this has happened. I don't know how he's a 98 overall like this, but we're going to play him anyways. So let's go in and just quick sim through this game. 2-2 on aggregate, we win, or sorry, 3-2 on aggregate, we win 2-2. That is completely backwards. 2-2 on the game, we win 3-2 on aggregate. On to the next round of the Champions League. Hopefully we get not too hard of an opponent, to be honest. I wouldn't mind a Mickey Mouse run. I've just seen it is Valencia. I believe, right? That is Valencia? Or is that Villarreal? Yikes, I don't remember. I think it's Valencia. Either way, it's not too bad of a draw. So let's go ahead and win that, hopefully. So our first leg is up against Valencia. Let's quickly sim through this leg. Hope for the best. We are in the round of 16 now. So, yeah, this new format is a bit strange to me still. Casillas is out. That is not good. With Casillas out, we might be cooked, but I would just let the assistant manager deal with any substitutions he would like to make, because I'm not even sure what will happen here. Let's auto-replace the issue and just play through 2-2. Not bad. I mean, who started for us there? Ronaldinho started in goal. That is not very ideal, is it? Seems like Casillas is out for not too much longer. It was a simple shoulder injury. So on to the next leg of the Champions League. So the second leg of the Champions League round of 16 is upon us. Hopefully we do a bit better. Bayern Munich goes through after beating Sporting 6-5 on aggregate. Iker Casillas is back. He is kind of like a bit of a light injury there, so it's a bit scary. We start Heung-min Son because he did well for us last time. And we leave everything the same here. Quick sim, let's see how it goes. Well, we lost somehow. 4 chances and 4 misses. And Casillas must have suffered a proper injury or something, I don't know. Anyways, the answer is no, you cannot win a treble with the worst European team in the game, even if you add 99 overall players. I'm chalking that up to the sim being kind of bad. We had a better year, honestly, when we didn't even have a full team of 99s. So I find it a bit strange when you play, I mean, a full team of 99s, maybe a 98 in there, and you don't win. So that is the end of the challenge. We have failed. I think I'm going to retry this on a different FIFA because I don't know how to feel about this sim. Losing a game like that, it quite literally is just heartbreaking. It kind of sucks even, but you can't really do much about it. We have the best players in the world, and it doesn't matter. Arjen Robben has scored 11 goals in 15 appearances, and yet we have somehow lost that. Cristiano Ronaldo has scored 6 goals in the Champions League in 10 appearances, and yet we've lost that. Mateus has scored 4 in the Champions League. Iniesta has scored 4 in the Champions League. I mean, even Amand has scored. Messi scored 3 in 9 appearances. Cafu scored 3. These are all Champions Leagues, and yet we lost. So, I mean, I will definitely retry this, maybe on the same FIFA, but I might have to clean it up a bit. It was a bit scuffed. I might just reload the save with different squads each time. But either way, that's the end of this video. Thank you for watching as always. If you enjoyed, check out some of the actual career modes I have done on this game. But I do plan on doing something like this again. It popped up into my head and I wanted to do it. I might do something a little different next time as well. I could do something else kind of similar, maybe something like, can a team of Harry Kanes win the Bundesliga? The answer would probably be no, but like, it doesn't hurt to try. Or something like, can a team of Messis win the Champions League? Again, probably no, but it would be really entertaining if they did. So yeah, I do like doing those type of things. It's fun because I like watching those type of things, but sometimes people don't do it. You know, I've seen a few of them like that. I've seen like, can 11 Hollands win? And that was cool, but like I would like to see it from my favorite player. And then I thought like, I could just make it myself in it. So I guess that's what I'm doing now. Anyways, yeah, disappointing end to this, but I'm gonna go again with a different type of challenge, clean it up a bit because once again, it was a scuffed challenge. I had to like edit players and then like sign them and then loan them. It was really weird. Anyways, once again, thank you for watching the video as always, and I'll see you later.